Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is Amatazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson, which is part 2 of Born That Way. So in part 1, we covered the disclaimer. My disclaimer was a group of scriptures that basically let you know that this information, all right, is for the elect. All right, it's for the nation of Israel, and it's not for everyone. Okay, so the understanding is not going to be for everyone. It's only for the elect. All right. Number 2, we talked about the 3 things that you have to understand when it comes to the question that Joe Rogan asked Matt Walsh. Okay. Joe Rogan asked Matt Walsh, why did God create the alphabet lifestyle people? Okay. Why would he do that? And there was 3 things that I told you had to understand first before getting into that understanding if you wanted to know the actual answer. Number 1, the Lord hates sinners. Okay? In his scriptures, we went over the scriptures, punishment and destruction for sinners. Okay? Also, the alphabet lifestyle is an abomination. We went over those scriptures as well. We talked about reincarnation. All right? And that's really what we're going to get into today. All right? That there's nothing new under the sun. All right? And the earth is the place of judgment, not hell, okay, burning in some eternal fire. Also, we talked about the fact that your spirit comes back on the earth every 3 and 4 generations, okay, every 3rd or 4th generation. And then also the vile affections, all right, the vile affections that are exhibited by the alphabet lifestyle, okay, comes from the fact that the Lord has darkened or turned out the light of their understanding, all right, so that they have become reprobate to do those things that are not convenient, all right. And this is all because of idolatry. So now that we're did our recap, I left off in part 1 with 2nd Maccabees, the 7th chapter, and I was explaining how the wicked Edomites, all right, in the Greek captivity, all right, was the worst captivity, all right, for the nation of Israel. And you have these degenerate jakes out here pledging, all right, in these Greek fraternities, all right. But if you knew that you were an Israelite and what was done to the Israelites, you would never be running around here pledging Alpha Phi Alpha or Kappa Alpha Psi or Omega Psi Phi and all of these Greek fraternities, because this is the link or the missing information. When you open up your Bible, if it doesn't have an apocrypha, it stops at Malachi and begins in Matthew. This is the information in the apocrypha that was in its place. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little something different. I want to read this this chapter so we can look at the brutality, all right, and the wickedness of Esau Edom. And you'll see why he took the Apocrypha out of the Bible, because he wanted to hide, okay, his wickedness, all right, amongst other things. So this is 2nd Maccabees. So we're going to start out reading this chapter. 2nd Maccabees 7:1. And it says, it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. All right. So what is swine? Swine is one of the unclean foods. All right, that the Lord told us not to eat. All right. It's an abomination. Verse 2. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot. Look at Esau. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. Now I'm going to stop for a second, because you have these so-called apologists, and you have these so-called, most of them are Edomites, and you have these dumbass jakes that just ride on their coattails and just regurgitate what Esau says. So Esau says that the Apocrypha is uninspired. Now we're reading about these young men who are dying for the law of the Most High, which is the scriptures. Now, explain to me how that's uninspired. Now, you have these young men of the Lord ready to give their lives for what? It says for the law of their fathers, for the laws of our fathers. Verse 2, but one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. But Esau will lie to you and tell you that the Apocrypha is uninspired. Let me keep moving on. Verse 3. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. Now, when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus. Verse 6, the Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed Salaki to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead, after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? But he answered in his own language and said, no. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order, as the former did. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou, like a fury, takest us out of this present life. But the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws, unto everlasting life. You see that? His faith was that he would live again. All right. Verse 10. After him was the third made a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully. He said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. Verse 12. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from the Most High to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Afterward, they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible, thou doest what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of the Most High. But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. After him also they brought the six, who being ready to die said, Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished. But the mother was marvelous above all, and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it good with a good courage, because of the hope that she had in the Lord. See that? Because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. But doubtless the Creator of the world, who formed the generation of man, and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. And now Antiochus, thinking himself despised, and suspected it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and happy man, if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend, and trust him with affairs. But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. And when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son. But she bowed herself toward him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, and spake in her country language on this manner: O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee such 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up into this age, and endured the troubles of education. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth and all that is therein, and consider that the Most High made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. You see, she said she was going to receive them again. How? In another life. While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of the Most High, for we suffer because of our sins. And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. But thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against the servants of the Most High. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of the Almighty Power, who seeth all things. For our brethren, who now have suffered a short pain, are dead under the Most High's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of the Most High, shalt receive just punishment for thy pride. But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life for the laws of our fathers, beseeching the Most High that he would speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou by torments and plagues mayest confess that he alone is the Most High. and that in me and my brethren the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon our nation, may cease. Then the king, being in a rage, handed him worse than all the rest, and took it grievously that he was mocked. So this man died undefiled, and put his whole trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feast and the extreme tortures. Okay? So that's Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter. All right? And the Lord didn't let his servants go through all that punishment for denying pork for you to eat it. All right. So that was just through the Spirit. I was led to go ahead and get into that Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter, because those who have no idea or not really clear about the Apocrypha, you had to read that horrible. All right, you had to understand that horrible account. All right, now regeneration. Let's go Genesis 3:19. All right, so this is Genesis 3:19. It says, "In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return." Okay? All right, so this was, of course, after man sinned, all right, in the garden. All right, and when they were exiled from the garden, this what was told to him. He was going to die. Okay? For dust thou art, unto dust shalt thou return. Okay? All right. Now your body, all right, is broken down, but your spirit goes back to the Father. This is Sirach 12:7. I always do that. Salakia. I transpose Sirach, Ecclesiasticus with Ecclesiastes. I ain't the only one to do it. All right, this is Ecclesiastes, Salakia 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. Okay, so it's not going to burning hell for eternity. Okay, let's go to Genesis, the 15th chapter, the 15th verse, and it reads, okay, this is the Lord talking to Abraham. "And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." So the Lord is telling them in the fourth generation, he's coming back. Okay? So in his particular case, he said the fourth generation. Let's look at Numbers 14:8. Salakia 18. All right. And it reads, "Yahweh is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generations." Okay, so he visits the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. All right, so every third and fourth generation you come back. All right, now we're gonna get an understanding about that. Let's just keep going. Lamentations 5:7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Okay, our fathers have sinned and we are not. We have borne their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand. Okay? So they're saying our fathers sinned and we borne their iniquities. You see that? That's just like here in America. You got Esau Edom. He says, I never put anyone in slavery. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. We're going to keep getting the understanding. Let's go to Ezekiel 18. The answer is here in Ezekiel 18. All right, we're going to look at 1 through 4, and then we're going to jump down to 20. The word of Yahweh came unto me again, saying, What mean ye that ye use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying, The fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge? As I live, said Yahweh Power, ye shall not have occasion any more to use this proverb in Israel. Behold, okay, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. Now, with that, let's jump down to 20. Because the Lord said, the soul that sinneth shall die. Watch this. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The Son shall not bear the iniquity of the Father, neither shall the Father bear the iniquity of the Son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wickedness shall be upon him. All right. So through the Spirit, if you following, the Lord is saying that you are your fathers. Okay. He just said that the Son won't bear the iniquity of the Father. All right. And neither the Father was going to bear the iniquity of the Son. It says the soul that sinneth shall die. So what does that mean? It means that you are who your father is. Okay? That was you 3-4 generations ago. Let's look at this note. Let me see. No, I already got this. Salaki. That's what we just read. All right. So every third and fourth generation, you come back. All right. So the Lord said, hey, listen, because the children of Israel was complaining, saying, hey, our fathers have sinned, but our teeth are set on edge. The Lord said, you're not going to use that proverb no more. I'm about to explain it to you. The soul that sinneth shall die. Now, with that understanding that you are, all right, your forefathers, right, and you come back every third and fourth generation, let's look at something beautiful. I like this right here. This is Isaiah 14. This is so great. It's almost like a gift. Isaiah 14 and 21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, said Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant and the son and the nephew, said Yahweh. Okay? So prepare slaughter for his children. All right? Talking about Esau, Edom. Okay? That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay? All right. Let's go to John 9. So you can see the understanding of the judgments. The judgments of the Lord, the Israelites understood, and they understood regeneration. And this is why the disciples asked Yahushua this question. John 9, 1 through 3. And as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Yahushua answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High shall be made manifest in him. So in this particular case, Yahushua explained, all right, to the disciples, nah, it wasn't his sin or his father's sin. This was all purposed, all right, by the Lord, all right, by the Heavenly Father. Let's look at 2nd Esdras 14. So what we're doing is systematically going through the scriptures proving reincarnation. 2nd Esdras 14:34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. How are you going to obtain mercy after death? For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. You see? So the idea is there is life after death. Now let's get into Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 1, and let's start at verse 9. We got to find out about that thing that hath been, okay? So Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 is all about that thing which hath been. And it reads, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. With those that shall come after. Those that shall come after are people. Okay? So there's no new thing under the sun. Now, prior to this understanding, most people would just read this and think that when it says there's no new thing under the sun, people would automatically assume that it's talking about the behavior of humans. Okay? This is not talking about the behavior of humans, okay? Although it could encompass that. This is talking about there's no new thing, meaning spirits, all right? Meaning man. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And the Most High required that which is past. Okay? So the Most High requireth. All right, when you go back in Genesis, the Lord tells you how he requires. He requires life through the hands of man and through beast. And he tells you the list of how he requires it. Okay? It says, but the Most High required that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. Okay? The place of judgment is under the sun. It says that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And that place under the sun is the earth. Lamentations 5 and 7. I think we covered that. Yeah, we did. We covered Lamentations 5 and 7. All right. So the place under the sun, all right, is the earth. So when the Bible talks about hell and heaven, it's talking about the conditions that you're living in. Hellish conditions or heaven. Like right now, Esau Edom is in his heaven. This is the zenith, brother. It don't get no better for you than this. It's all downhill from here. It's all downhill from here. This is Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. Now it's going to explain to you what that thing was, the thing that have been, right? Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man. You see? It is man. Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he. All right, so when you have that proud, froward Edomite that wants to curse God, and he says all kind of crazy stuff, he has no clue what he's doing, because the Lord can bring him back torment after torment after torment. All right. I've seen a lot of people in the construction and just in a lot of the industries where you have these horrible work-related deaths and work-related injuries, and the Lord be fucking Esau up. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I If I gave you some stats just on the forklift, all right, and these stats have been consistent for over 30 years. No matter how much training is out there, these stats will blow your mind. And he fucking these Edomites up, man. All right, this is Second Esdras, Second Esdras 5:41. The Lord is going to describe His judgment. Okay, so we're going to start at 41. All right, so the Lord is about to describe His judgment to Esdras. All right, and so Esdras is so tired, all right, of being on the bottom. He's asking the Lord, "Hey, listen, can we speed this up?" He's like, "Lord, can't you just speed this up so we can get this over with? We tired of living, underneath, being underneath less than." All right, this is Second Esdras 5:41. And I said, "Behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me, or we that be now, or they that shall come after us?" And he said unto me, "I will liken my judgment unto a ring. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first." So I answered and said, "Couldest thou not make those that have been made and be now, and that are for to come, at once, that thou mayest show thy judgment the sooner?" Then answered he me and said, "The creature may not haste above the Maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein." And I said, "As thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou which giveth life to all hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and the creature bare it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once." All right, so now it says, "And he said unto me, Ask the woman of a womb, and say unto her, If thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once." And he said, "She cannot, but must do it by distance of time." Okay. Then said he unto me, "Even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times." Okay. So that was Esdras trying to speed up the judgment. Okay. And the Lord said, nah, it's got to be spaces and time. Everybody can't be here at the same time. So we're going to bring them like a ring. He says his judgment is like a ring. Okay. All right. We this is we had 33. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna get 3 examples. I'm gonna get these 3 precepts. We're gonna close it out, and then we're gonna make part 3, the final part, to answer Joe Rogan's question. All right. So let's go to Daniel 12:13, because the prophets knew that they would live again because the Lord told them to. See, this word ain't for you, so you wouldn't even realize it. You don't know, all right, because you wasn't meant to know until now. For those who can hear and those who can see. This is Daniel 12:13. It says, "But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days." All right, so this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai telling Daniel. It says, "Go thy way till the end, for thou shalt rest," okay, which is to pass on and from this life. And then it says, "And stand in thy lot at the end of days." So right now we're at the end of days. All right. So Daniel is somewhere on the earth right here at the end of days because the Lord said he had to stand in this lot. Let's see what note I have. This is Job 19:25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me. So even Job says that he knows that, he's gonna come back onto the earth. Okay? He said, even after the worms, all right, the skin, it says, although after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High. You see? So the belief and the understanding has always been there. And even back to 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, the Lord showed Esdras the end, and Esdras said, woe, woe is me, woe is me. This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 17. It says, woe is me. What is he talking about? He's talking about the missiles. All right. So this is 2nd Esdras 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, return it not backwards, even so the plagues shall be sent upon the earth, shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? All right, so that's what Ezra said, who will deliver me in those days? All right, and lastly, in closing to part 2, because, hey, we're going to get a part 3. Revelation 1 and 7. Revelation 1 and 7. Talking about living again after you die. This is Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Who's gonna see him? Every eye. And it says, and they also which pierced him. How can they that pierced Yahushua see him if they're dead? Because they're going to be raised again. When you go into the Gospels tell you that people got out of their graves. All right. So with that, that's going to be the end of part 2 of Born This Way. And I pray that this lesson has been edifying. All right. To the next one, we're going to do the part 3. All right. To the next one, Shalom.